On this big ground, he's a bit exposed for his pace, and they're struggling to find a role for him.
Pace or fitness, Gerald?
Well, I'm not sure which one it is, BT. To be honest, I think he's obviously not blessed with pace, and if his tank's not big enough, then he needs to address that as well.
Keep a close eye on that as this game progresses.
In the first quarter, the Kangaroos went one-on-one all over the ground. Now they've gone back to a bit of a more normal structure and got Ferrito free in the defensive end.
Got the extra, says Brad Johnson, at the Roos defensive end. Out of the middle, and did well, Anthony, to advance at 30 metres. Thomas, clever little sock at a right.
Good tackle.
It was by Pitt, just in his third game.
He went to don't argue, the big push off, and he was good enough to get under the arm and still drag him down.
Heap of players around this contest. Goldstein was able to win it down convincingly to Mundy, and Mundy on the left put it in front of Fife, but guess what? Harvey was able to intercept. Well done by Fife in the second effort to follow up, but the Roos are away. It's Harvey centering ball, too much for Wright, couldn't get there, Thomas. Now Pavlich. Van Berlo was in there. So was Broughton. The Roos keep it alive somehow. Now Johnson seemed to have the numbers here, Fremantle, but not the skill to extricate it out. Here's Van Berlo. One of the inclusions in the Fremantle lineup today. Fife looks to chisel the ball down to an informed Kepler. Bradley at the moment kicked the last two of the first. Swiveled around on one boot. How do you like it? Up to Main over the back, Grimer.
It's amazing how much rewarded running there is in footy these days. Sandland's had the clearance about 150 metres away from where he is at the present time, the big man. He's lugged those size 17 boots a long way to get no reward, BT.
As indeed. Now Tarrant has been clumsy for the second time here. Brad Johnson.
Yeah, he has, but it's more on the back of the kick from Grimer. It was just a lazy kick, dribbled along the ground. There was no pressure on him, and now Tarrant, for the third time, as you said, has given away a free kick inside 50.
I reckon on that slow-mo replay, it shows pretty cunning move from Adam McPhee. I reckon he's extracted that free kick. He bent, he went down and he went low, and he's almost aimed his head at the legs of Tarrant.
He's got the result he hoped for, and in he comes. Kick is good as well. Kicked the last three of the game, the Fremantle Dockers.
Good kick, good conversion. He's playing a pretty good role here at the present time. We'll take another look at it. I've got no doubt it's becoming a dead set art and footy there, BT. I know the arm was there,
yeah,
but he projected himself at the player. There he goes.
Yeah, because he was heading slightly away from the player, wasn't he?
Yeah, he saw him coming and he decided to have a crack at the free kick, Jono.
He maximised the contact, Jono.
Yeah, he did, and that's, you're right, it's becoming a tactic in today's game.
Fremantle by 15 points as a result of the McPhee goal.
Question is, boys, is that something that might creep into our game, guys, just putting their head down and just evoking the free kick?
I think it's crept.
It's already coming, Jacko. All over it you are. Here's Sandilands. Wells got support out wide and found Richardson. Richardson, it's all about the delivery now. Missed the intended target and a high tackle by Thomas.
That's an interesting one. Who was it last year? Was Gary Abloh? I think somebody accused him of the shrug. Because that was a shrug tackle, because the initial arm was below the shoulder and the shrug just took it up.
Paul Chapman from the Cats is the best at it.
Is he?
Dropping the head and forcing the tackle to slide off.
Oh, was it Selwood? I think it was Selwood the argument was levied on.
One of those talented Geelong players, Gerald.
I think it was Selwood.
All three of them, maybe.
I think the Pies are onto him.
Have a look at this. McPhee to Bradley. It's out of bounds on the full. And Bradley's collected the fence quite aggressively. That's a poor kick in the end, because he didn't have to put it out in front because Bradley had no defender trailing. He just had to hit the stationary target, really. High ball over the top went McFarlane. He's got Pavlich on the inside. Didn't have the sure hands. That's a great setup. Handball. McPhee gives it on to Van Berlo. Plenty of time to make a decision. Here comes Hill. Thinks about the body. Got him out of the way, and then the mark. Magnificent.
Geez, it was a nice kick from Van Berlo. He had four to pick from, and he said, all right, I'm going to give it to Stephen Hill. It's a good decision to push him up into the goal square. Take him down, make him one out. He's thrown the mouth guard out.
Gee, I'm not sure about the collection of that mouth guard and then the reinsertion in the mouth. Jared, it's not The big Q-Sticks glove. It's a mouth guard. Here comes Hill. 4 straight for the Dockers, and Hill doesn't let the fans down.
And he's getting a bit of interest afterwards. Still hasn't got the mouth guard in there.
Valentine's in there, which we all love to see.
That's enough. You got the free. Wait. It's just prohibitive contact. There's no need for it. You got the goal. Got to wait for the light.
Let's have a look at this kick from behind. And the move. There's Bradley. Ignores Bradley. And the body work. There it is there. Nice body work, Jono.
Biggest margin of the game, and Hill copping a bit of attention after he kicked that goal from a few rude defenders there. Umpire Dean Margate says, get it back in the middle and get on with the boys. Here's Anthony. Anthony goes down to Zeeble. As a result of that scuffle was the free kick in the middle. And now McFarlane running for touch.
And that free kick, we believe, was because of a little bit of extra work from Hayden Ballantyne.
Got a little bit of nip about him, Hayden, at times. Opportunity here for Thomas. He did really well to save that opportunity, although now intercepted the ruse again. The kick was poor on that occasion. And just their foot skills going inside 50 at the moment haven't been fantastic. I reckon it was Atley on that occasion. So just a momentary lull in this game, which has been of a very high standard. Goldstein around the corner. Petrie tried to shepherd it through. He gave it a chance.
I think he tried to chest that down, BT, and
well, I think he might
create
have
something
either that or
out of nothing.
Hoping for the bounce over the top of the head.
Definitely.
Smart player, Drew Petrie. And he will work his way into this season. That's a very ordinary kick in by Grover. Zeeble, who can kick the footy, will line up from directly in front, and I reckon he'll go the journey from here.
Yeah, well, he needs something, BT, to spark his day. He's a talented kid. He's just in a bit of a hole at the present time, needs to find some footy. Well, he's got an opportunity to get the Kangaroos back in the match.
Game 27 for Zeeble. Altitude is important. He got too close to the man on the mark in Mundy. Now Hill, there's the Zeeble tackle, didn't dispose of it legally. And that's a fair but tough call by the umpire.
And a super follow-up from Zeeble.
Oh, yeah. He needed it.
He certainly did.
He's right. He just looks really down on confidence. Dropped the mark over on the other side. Hadn't touched it effectively in the first quarter. And there's the flying Docker tackle.
Yep. Make amends tackle from Zeeble. First fundamental in goal kicking is to give yourself enough room from the man on the mark before you even kick the ball. And he has this time, and he has nailed that. No, he hasn't. Well, he thinks he's got him. The goal umpire. I think the goal umpire's going to signal behind. Field umpire's told him it's a goal. And it's a goal from Zeeble. For one moment there, I thought he was going to give it the other way.
Well, we'll have a closer look at this. I'm sure. From here, it looked like it actually came on this side of the post.
Bent late, there's no doubt. Zeeble coming off the ground, which I think is a flaw in the premeditated changes off the ground. He's a kid that just has kicked a goal. He needs to stay on and get some footy. Let's have a look.
Oh, it's a goal.
Definitely a goal. What was the goal umpire going to signal?
He was going to signal a point.
Was he?
Zeeble gets the goal. They're down by 14. And it's been a bit of a goal umpiring day today. Perhaps the Sunnies should be removed from now on just to get a good look at things. Opportunity, Sandilands in the middle. Here's Mundy. Van Berlo won't quite get to him on the full. He's got the running support, though. Ooh. The fumble and the ordinary handball in the end cost him. And making amends, Mundy. But all to do with the initial fumble meant they ran out of time. That's out of bounds. Not once, but twice. Definitely out of bounds. Boy, oh boy. The men in yellow today.
Well, let's see if it. Oh, yes.
Oh, no. Lucky it had no bearing. on the contest. I hope that wasn't the same boundary umpire as before. Opportunity for the Dockers. Pavlich found Palmer. Sandlin's looking for the long one. Ballantyne's out wide. They didn't go to him. I thought they probably should have. Now Crowley's got a bit of a crowd. Off the standing start. Pitt, high ball.
Good mark.
Cunnington. Rawlings. They corral.
I think this boundary umpire is going to get a fair rap once he pays another decision.
Yes. The last two he's been involved in have been rather controversial. The right handball was really excellent. The running give by Harvey was looking for the 1-2. Here's Ferrito on his non-preferred left side. A good kick to Edwards. Got under it. Duffield did well to the skies. Thomas unnecessary.
Well, Duffield did the old drop handball, if you like. It's pretty smart work. Often the umpires don't reward you if you do that, but on that occasion, the ferocity of the tackle, I think, drew the free kick.
Duffield goes down the line, and Sandlin's,
I think the umpire beat it.
was hoping he was interfered with. Zeeble looked to get up holding his hamstring there. We've got our boundary umpire to throw this in. That's just an accidental collision with the feet, and how could you not miss the size 20s? Right.
Good
like
clearance
flippers.
work.
It was.
This is better from Zeeble.
Adams to Zeeble. Zeeble can go all the way from here. That's a powerfully kicked ball. Magnificent ball from Jack Zeeble.
That's the lifter. He's a stoppage player and he likes being up in the centre of the ground. Not sure the rationale behind him playing so deep for the first quarter and a half. Maybe to let the game just cool down a little bit, Jono, but he's had an impact in the last 5 minutes.
He hasn't, and he certainly needed to. We mentioned the younger guys on the Fremantle side at quarter time in Fife, in Pitt and in Ballantyne. It's Zeeble and these type of players and Swallow and Adams that need to step up for the Kangaroos.
Yeah.
The young gun for the Roos, Jack Zeeble, has got the last 2 goals for the Roos, and they're back within 8 points. Midway in this second quarter. Crowd been silenced with those last 2 from the Roos. Pavlich, magnificent centre square work. Finished off by Mundy, and now Van Berlo to make the kick work. McPhee. Now Swallow. Out of defence, looking for running support. Harvey did really well. The ball was weighted nicely in front in the end, but Harvey couldn't get it out.
He got the free kick. Geez, there's hard work there by Van Berlo.
Yep. Still got to tackle them correctly in that situation.
Just got to tidy up his skills a little bit. He's a fumbly handball and a poor kick going inside 50, putting himself under pressure, doing a good job on Boomer Harvey. That's his first requirement. But when he gets the ball, he can be more damaging.
Jaden Pitt gives the handball off to Roberton, who's running onto his non-left side. I'm not sure about the smartness of that. Zeeble probably should have gone the 2 jukes there. In the end, they get out of trouble here. The kick to Petrie on the lead. McFarlane wearing him like a glove. Now Hanson being warned by Duffield. Petrie went back and wanted the free. Now here goes the counter-attack. Broughton to start it off. Finds an opportunity with Subin.
It's those counter-attacks that are hurting them. And that ball had to go to Lockie Hanson, or it had to go to Drew Petrie, and so they maintain possession and then can get some support from up the ground.
Subin with a penetrating ball. Goldstein went up. Here's Ballantyne. This way, that away. Right foot kick around the corner. Mighty Mouse has done it again.
Well, he's just taking the most of his opportunities at the moment when the ball goes forward. The pleasing thing is that he's getting up the ground and then he's working front and square, doing exactly what he knows best. And look at that, he could have fed a handball to Kepler Bradley, but took it on himself and finished with a very nice goal, Jared.
Well, he could have kicked 4 at some stage in his career. I think he's got an 8 in him, and that's doesn't mean that you go looking for 8s, but it will happen if he gets all these opportunities.
Hayden Ballantyne has kicked his 2nd goal. The Dockers by 14. An explosive little ball of dynamite is Hayden Ballantyne.
Well, 4 goals he could have had already. He's having a major influence, even with his 2-2. He's an improving player.
Pavlich has had the last 2 clearances here. Pitt overrunning now. Adams quite well in the early stages of the first quarter. It's a horrible kick for someone that was completely by themselves. Zeebel's plenty of time to tidy it up though, but as a result, the Bradley pressure on the Zeebel kick, and Wells's hands should have probably been a little better.
Yeah, Wells needed to be stronger in the hands then. It was like he was waiting for the impact to come instead of having that full focus on grabbing the footy.
Good work by Crowley too, not to chop the arms or the go around the shoulder areas.
Yeah, it was great defensive work. Glenn Jakovic quite right. Here's Wells now on the point of the square, a kick back inside which wasn't incredibly well directed to Hansen. Well done for a big man Petrie to get down and pick that up.
It was good football control with the boot by Hansen as well, just bringing the ball back towards his players.
Mundy working hard, picked up in the end by Wright, gives it off to Wells, sizes it up around the corner, he fancies his chances. Goal umpire got himself in a bit of a tangle, but it's there. Wells has got it.
Well, that's his second goal. He's had 10 disposal. He's working fairly effectively today, Daniel Wells. And it's good it's a response, because he should have taken the mark on half forward before, kept his work rate up, stayed in the contest, and then was able to create a very good snap goal. He's kicked a couple like that today.
Just did Ryan Crowley for a bit of pace there on a couple of occasions. They may have to have a look at that particular matchup. He's kept him to 13 possessions. In fact, Crowley's kept him to 10 possessions, but just the pace there exposed him a bit.
It did from the stoppage. Might have a look at that a little bit later on, because there was a great camera angle of him exposing that getaway opportunity. Welsh has got a couple. They're down by 8, the Roos, and here goes Robertson. De Boer, 60 metres out, kick to Main on the lead is great.
It was a great kick to Main. Kepler Bradley's work out of the centre square then, just bolted forward, had Goldstein on the bit, and if it didn't go to Main, Bradley would have marked it for sure.
Main lines up from directly in front.
Centre clearances, Miles are telling me the Fremantle are dominating them, but it is 7-6. But I think they're getting much more value for their clearance, like setting up goals like this.
It's a magnificent kick from Main. Fremantle get their 4th goal of the quarter.
You're right, Joe. They seem cleaner coming out of there. They're not rushed in their disposal coming out of the middle of the ground. They seem to be getting out to the wing, getting an overlap, and having an easier kick inside forward 50.
Yeah, there's centre clearances and centre clearances. Some of them go just outside the square. Others set up a chain of uninterrupted possession. Like I think we've seen 3 or 4 from the Dockers for goals.
So Main gets his second. So a feast of goal kickers here on a couple. Bradley's got 2, Ballantyne's got 2, Main's got 2, and for the Roos, Zeebel and Wells have 2 each. Not a great spread, but nevertheless getting it done here, both mobs at the moment. Mundy was tackled. Really good job to still get rid of it legally, though. Stripped here by Cunnington. Has a good look at what he needs to do, and he misses with the kick that had plenty of time to execute it.
And it's a big issue for the Kangaroos. They've got lots of ball winners, but when they win the ball, they've got a few butchers.
There's Fife.
Their kicking skills collectively, Jono, aren't at the top end.
Well, they've had 3 in this quarter now going forward, where they've been able to impact by hitting a forward, leading target inside forward 50, and they haven't been able to do it.
Fife went back to Grover because there was absolutely nothing on downfield that he fancied. Now McFarlane's got the pressure kick to Johnson and made it work. Now they've got the same situation on the other side of the ground, because as Brad Johnson has pointed out numerous times, they have gone very much one-on-one in this little period of play. They fly, and the mark has been paid in the end to Richardson. Cameron Richardson just in his 3rd game as well. Yeah, outer side here at Patterson Stadium. Kick off the inside. Gee, the kicking the forward end of the ground for the Roos has just been a little bit ordinary. Here's an opportunity for Thomas. A similar shot that Wells had. Thomas just misses to the right. Yeah, hitting the lead-up player hasn't been great for them, has it?
Don't think they're a good kicking team, the Kangaroos. It's an area they have to address by recruiting better kicks. And they have gone with some pretty solid ball winners, but collectively the deficiency is, I guess, the kicking.
Working at 50% at the moment, Jared.
Have a look at this. Sandlin's with a mark. Hill with the penetrating run, followed by a penetrating kick to Main, and it's as easy as that. Main, if he wants, could nearly go back and slot it. Goes inboard, and here's an opportunity with Palmer. That is just silky play from the Dockers.
That's electric stuff. Really good foot skills, set it up, and good decision-making from Main. It was 4 or 5. He could have blasted away. Mundy was screaming for it going into the goal square, but he was too clever for that. Didn't blaze away, waited for the genuine opportunity.
Well, Ballantyne's and Harvey just tangling off the ball here as we watch that replay, and in the end, Harvey went down a little too easy for my liking.
And Jared, good contested mark by Aaron Sandlin.
Yeah,
if he continues to do that, you'll see a lot more play like that, and Fremantle will be a dangerous side as the year progresses.
Reece Palmer to become the 4th player in double goals, and misses.
I think Harvey's just trying to get into him a little bit there, just because Fremantle having a shot at goal.
Oh, Boomer.
Should have trying to get the free kick, get the turnaround.
Trying to have it reversed there, Boomer. That's not a great look. Here's Crowley. I see he ran off the mark. Gee, they're hard on that these days. I sometimes wonder what they do. McPhilly over the top, couldn't get it. Thompson in the front court, and out of the loop they are. Need to use the ball, and there's the first mistake already, which allows Palmer to make the tackle, which he was clumsy at. Thompson. Wells presents up along the boundary line.
Stay out.
Can go over the top again if he wants to, Anthony. He ignores that and goes inside to Cunnington.
Stay there.
Let's have a look at the Cunnington use of the ball by foot. He's got Adams out wide, and that'll do. Edwards was too early on the lead then, Adams. He wasn't balanced and ready to go. To Zeeble over the back, double back. Harvey's on the run. He'll get the easiest of goals. Well done from Harvey and Zeeble.
Much better play by the Kangaroos. Maintained possession, didn't rush, got the ball into a dangerous area. And then good decision making by these two that could have both gone for the goal, but in the end it was a smart call, smart decision basically by Boomer Harvey. He knew that he'll get on the end of it. Zeeble would do the grunt work, get it out to him, bang.
And challenging some of the younger guys as he did after the Collingwood game. We were asking for a response. Jacko said before the game about asking for a response from Harvey.
Stay up and about.
Have kicked 4 of the last 6 goals, the Roos, and they're back in business. Just 8 points adrift with 5 minutes left in the first half. Great perseverance for them in the second quarter, after Fremantle kicked the first two goals of this quarter. Umpire's called play on. Gee, that went a lot further than a lot of those smaller kicks. Picked up in the end by Adams, lets it rip from 55, and that'll go out of bounds.
Lockie here. 5 metres. Come through this way. Thank you.
Well, Lockie Hansen still effectively hasn't troubled the scorers, but you would have to argue after that last kick in that the service hasn't been all that much of the silver variety.
No, it certainly hasn't at this stage, but that's the challenge now. He's just got to keep coming at the footy and hope things turn for him.
Robbie Tarrant with the fist away. So a half-forward stoppage here for the Kangaroos. Sandlin's got the perfect spot, the knockdown. Fife. Clean to Pavlich now on the boundary line. Duffield did well to Van Berlo. Van Berlo keeps it rolling forward. It was well done in the end.
Thank you.
Well, he's a hard worker, is Lee Adams. You can't question his commitment. Just got to tidy up a few errors with the foot, and he's going to be a genuine player.
Right in front of the interchange area here, this ball up. Hill got some space, needs to tidy it up at ground level. He did now to Robertson. Robertson's got Main on. He was more interested in bouncing the ball, and in the meantime, Grimer had closed him down. Main did really well on the recovery. Can he turn Grimer inside out? No. Well corralled from Grimer. Had to retreat back to Robertson.
We've got the numbers here now, the Kangaroos.
They had McPhee. Wanted the free McPhee, but I don't think it was there. Tarrant, beautiful tap down. Swallow at the ground level to Adams, and chain of handballs ending with Wells. Wells a high ball to centre half forward. It was over the head of Thomas, and he had to back up, and he did well in the end to use his body. But then he's given away another unnecessary free kick when his side looked really dangerous.
Great Gordon, straight away. Thank you.
It was good work by Subban. He was a really dangerous and important one-on-one.
Umpire with a bit of a slippage in the middle. Here's the nippy one, Ballantyne, looking for the drawing handball to Hill. Ballantyne doubles back the other way. He's got McPhee long and deep if he wants. Thompson got in front with a timely hand. It was really well done. Now Pitt's there. Gathers the ball at the ground level. Adams holds it to him. And we'll have a ball up here.
Jeff, Zagger's come out, have a break. Thanks. You right, okay? Yeah, mate, yeah, fine.
A lot of bumping and knocking going on off the ball in this game. Sandilands with a backhander. McPhee through traffic on Crowley. Did he get it to the boot? Can Main get it to the boot? Fresh Air City. McMahon goes wide and Zeeble drops an easy mark. And it'll be a boundary throw in.
That was mayhem in there. It was like a pinball machine. No one connecting. The flippers didn't work.
The Roos lucky they didn't get pinged for holding that one in. Sandilands the knock forward. Pavlich uses the body to protect the ball and has won himself a free by virtue of being first there.
Yep.
There was good commitment, wasn't it, from Pavlich in that bit of play then. Threw his body in over the ball and was able to draw a good free kick.
Do you have a shot from here, Jono? Certainly capable of the distance.
I think there's no question he'll go back and have a shot from here.
He's certainly looking like he's confident. He's going to be kicking it from beyond 50.
That's just great leadership by Matthew Pavlich. He's looked at the clock. He knows that it's time to win an important contested possession, and he has, and he's won himself a free kick and should finish off with a goal.
Pavlich, Glenn Jakovic, sounds like these ones are easy. That one's on the way. The journey's there, but offline to the left by about a metre.
And he's really just worked his way into this game, Pavlich, without starring at the moment. He's had 16 possessions and really brought a lot of his teammates into it with some good handballs today.
Big zone set here by Fremantle Dockers, a very widespread zone, and they're going to get the trap as a result, and Pavlich is the beneficiary of it. He'll drive it long and low, and here comes McPhee. Has he got the jukes? He has.
What about that kick? McPhee came from only about 5 metres back, but that was a bullet.
Yeah, it was. I actually had doubts whether McPhee could hang on to it. It was coming that quick.
This is a great mark. This is a really difficult mark.
Well done, Adam McPhee. Now the finish. Directly in front, basically. Minute 30 on the clock. Fremantle by just 9 points. Adam McPhee for his second goal. Timber work.
Well, that should have been a goal, but they have to address this, getting the ball out of their defence, the Kangaroos, from the early part of the match to even just that last kick in from McMahon.
Well, there's the zone.
Yep.
Good look at what they're...
There's no movement from the Kangaroos. He needs some help. He needs some blokes moving to some space to make the zone a little bit fragile.
And he goes to the contest, and again in front was Pavlich, almost winning the free. Did well, I think it might have been Petrie there in the contest, and the Roos are out here at the moment. It is to Edwards. He's got Thomas on if he wants, and he's got the long ball. He goes the ladder. It's a long ball in front. Hansen couldn't mark it. It was on his chest, and Thomas has milked the free.
Yeah, just accidental high, but it was there. Certainly looked it from here. Much better transition, different side when they can get that ball out quickly from defence. And there's the hand just slipping over the top.
Yeah, definitely a free there, as you say, Gerard. Lindsay Thomas to have an effect on the scoreboard and get it back to less than a goal. Difficult kick for his left foot. Thomas comes in and just out to the right-hand side. Throws his mouth guard away in disgust, because I would have thought that would have gone right to left.
I think he probably kicked it exactly where he wanted it, but the wind didn't do its job.
So, with just 15 seconds left, Fremantle would be aware to a certain degree of the clock and time remaining. Don't want to mess it up here. Over the back, Fife didn't make contact the first time with the handball. Now Ballantyne takes on Tarrant. Couple of seconds left. Siren sounds just as another attack was coming from the Fremantle Dockers. And at halftime, Fremantle lead by 9 points, 9-9-63 to North Melbourne, 8-6-54. And a very interesting first half of football.
I agree with you, BT. It looks to me as if the Dockers have got this game in their control, and yet they're only 9 points up on the scoreboard, which is a dangerous situation because the Kangaroos continually are just finding a way to hang on, and we've seen it so often in football matches. You do that and you get an opportunity late in the game, you can snatch the 4 points.
4 goals each in that quarter there. Let's go down to Glenn Jakovic. He's down there with Drew Petrie. Take it away, Jacko.
Thanks very much, boys. Drew, you right in this game on.
Yeah, it is. We got the footy inside 50 pretty well in the first quarter. Didn't capitalise on the scoreboard, so we need to keep that scoreboard pressure on, especially over here at Subi.
Do you back your fitness considering you had the bye last week? You look like you're running the quarters really well out.
Yeah, we started pretty well, and the boys played over here round 1, and it was about 35 degrees, so through about 25 today, and the fitness won't be an issue.
One area, just your defensive ball movement, you're just struggling to get out of your back line, just your skill level. You've got to address at half time.
Yeah, definitely. We just, a couple of those last kick-ins, we struggled to get past halfway, but that last one worked all right, so we might have to go with that one again.
Good luck, mate. All the best.
Thanks, Jeff.
Drew Petrie down there with Glenn Jakovic. Exciting first half of football. Fremantle by 9 points over North Melbourne. 9-9-63 to the Roos 8-6-54.